The current deputy governor of Borno State, in the person of Umar Usman Kadafo, experienced one of the most terrifying events that happened just recently. On Thursday, being the 4th of December 2024, the deputy governor of the state was assigned by the current governor in the person of Babagana Zulum. He assigned an official duty to the deputy governor of the state to travel to the Federal Capital Territory and to meet with some ministers in Abuja. The plan was very simple. Go to Abuja, meet with these ministers and officials, and come back to the state, come back to Borno State and give an official report that will help boost the economy of the state and also put the state to become a forerunner in the country. The deputy governor, Umar Usman Kadafo, had no other choice but to obey the instructions coming from the executive governor of his own state. Interestingly, the deputy governor arrived at the Maiduguri International Airport through the VIP wing of the facility. He was at the airport around 6 p.m. that day, and the flight was scheduled for 7 p.m. that same evening. It is very paramount to note that this particular airport recently was upgraded into an international airport, which simply means that this airport had all the latest facility and every other equipment needed to run smoothly. What I'm showing right now on your screen is a publication released from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, where it states, Federal government upgrades Muhammadu Buhari Airport, Maiduguri, to an international airport. And this was released on the 14th of October 2024. It's also very important to note that the government of Borno State had no private jets as we speak. We'll show right now on your screen are some instances and publications where the current governor of the state will have to rent out or borrow a private jet so as to carry out official duties or to help individuals in the state travel to other parts of the country. So as you can see, the deputy governor of that state had no other choice but to either rent out a private jet or to travel using a commercial airline in Nigeria. This man opted to go with to travel with commercial airlines, and he picked Max Air. Showing right now on your screen is a publication or a screenshot from Max Air. The deputy governor of the state booked a one-way ticket and he paid around 150,000 naira to travel from the state to the Federal Capital Territory on the 4th of December 2024, being a Thursday. Around 6 p.m. that day, the flight was called in for check-in. The deputy governor of the state walked in majestically. He checked in his luggages and he was good to go. And around 6:50 of that same day, these guys were all boarded and the flight was good and cleared for takeoff. Interestingly, 10 minutes into the flight, a series of unexpected events unfolded and took place. Events that sent fears and shivers into the hearts and spines of the politician and the 100 passengers on board. So 10 minutes into this flight, the aeroplane engine suffered failure caused by a bird strike. To better explain this, shortly after takeoff, the aircraft was struck by a bird mid-air, which caused one of the engines to catch fire. Well, if you're very versatile with international aviation, you should know that airports all across the world usually put up mechanisms and structures to keep birds away from the airport during takeoff. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, show right now on your screen is a publication where it states, birds and airplanes don't mix up. Bird strikes cost the aviation industry over $1.2 billion annually and can also cause accidents. And that is why airports go to great lengths to keep birds away from runways and flight paths. It also went a step further to illustrate and to give techniques on how to keep birds away from the airport. Well, based out of this publication and based out of this press release, it simply means that bird strikes are usually very common all across the world, and it is usually very expensive to maintain and to curtail. So when the bird struck one of the engines of the aircraft, the engine immediately burst into flames. The passengers in panic called out the attention of the air hostess, and of course the passengers began to panic and some started to pray for their life while others kept calm and were waiting patiently for the next course of action. Well, the pilot immediately called the control room because these guys were just 10 minutes away from the international airport in Maiduguri. The pilot called in the control room, informed them of his current situation and asked for an emergency landing without questions. The pilot was given the green light by the control room and immediately had to do an emergency landing with one engine in place and the other one currently in flames. So he landed successfully back at the international airport in Maiduguri. Following the emergency landing, Passengers were reportedly in state of panic. Well, Max Air came in to apologize for all the technical faults and difficulties experienced while on board. Max Air management promptly arranged for another aircraft from Kano to transport the passengers to the Federal Capital Territory. Some passengers who were still in shock and who were still in disbelief declined the offer by Max Air, but they chose to return back home and try again another day, while some other passengers, including the deputy governor of the state, chose to travel that same day. So these guys were all relocated. They were all transported first to Kano, where they boarded an aircraft to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Luckily enough, these guys arrived safely on Thursday evening without any form of problems. Meanwhile, the ill-fated aircraft remains grounded at Maiduguri International Airport, undergoing extensive repairs. Investigations into the incident are currently underway. The airport authorities have reassured passengers of their commitment to safety and thanked the crew for their professionalism in managing the situation in the right way and manner. But as we speak, the Deputy Governor of Borno State currently is in Abuja, still on his official assignment from the state government. Well, the Deputy Governor of Borno State will join the likes of Yemi Osibanjo and Ganduje, who once upon a time, one way or the other, escaped aircraft and plane crash in the country. Well, in our previous video, we extensively searched through the nationality and identity of this man known as Baba Dati Ahmed, this man who ran as a vice presidential candidate under Peter Obi in the Labour Party in the last presidential elections. In that video, we noticed that this man has a mixed nationality in him, that his father is from a northern African country. Well, if you want to watch the video and get full updates for yourself, if you want to see the country, the true origin of Baba Dati Ahmed, we have a video on this channel that will show you everything that you need to know and understand. And that video is showing right now on your screen, so click on this video to watch and understand it. Click on this video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.